Hey everyone, welcome to yet another episode of our podcast Behind the Wickets. Today is going to be an interesting one because we haven't done a review of first test, so we'll take that up first today, and then we'll be trying to second guess what India and Australia might have in store for us for the second test, which starts today at Delhi. With us today, as usual, we have Sanket Vora and Bhavik Mehta joining, and let's get the fun started. Yes, Sanket
Hello
and Bhav,
everyone.
morning.
Hello
Good
everyone.
morning,
Good morning.
everyone. The first match has gone against my prediction, totally against my
Yeah,
prediction,
mine
uh,
too.
and 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 it's unlike what the Indian team is used to do. I mean, they started the series with a bang. I would say a killer blow to the Aussies camp. What do you say, right?
Yeah. So
And
everyone is happy
basically,
over
what
here.
stand?
Everyone is happy over
Sure.
here, but there's one person who's smiling more than usual, and that's Bhavik Mehta. He said 2-0. Well, 2-0 is still far away. It's 1-0 yet, but yeah.
Well, there is a merit to what I said because that when you say that India starts slowly is when India travels. When India is playing home, I don't remember when we lost the first test last. Yes, it was against Australia in 2017 when we lost to Pune, but
Hmm.
that happens once in a decade.
Absolutely, Bhavik. But what stands out in this victory is the pitch that was under so much of scrutiny and was subject to worldwide discussion, right? Especially the Aussie media. Remember,
Yeah.
despite
Yeah.
all the fuss surrounding the pitch, Aussies won the toss. They could have made the best use of the so-called Turner. That's what they claimed, right? But it wasn't to be.
Yeah.
Jadeja, who was coming back after a long layoff, showed no signs of being out of touch. Rather, he became the destroyer in chief, claiming 5 wickets in the first innings, following up with a masterclass 70 runs with his below. How do you get that?
I guess what happened is this all hue and cry about the wicket. That's what backfired, and it was Fox Cricket that started all these discussions about the wicket. And then at the end of the
Yeah,
day, it was them who tweeted that probably it was over analyzing, overthinking on the part of wicket that got us down. But then it was you who actually started that. No one was even talking about that before them. But yeah, I think it was all these things probably affected them more than actually the wicket having demons in it. Because we see Shami. I mean, if Shami can play this well, I don't know what was stopping Australians from doing that.
Not only that, I mean, I'd like to bring a couple of other factors. You're talking about spinners picking up most of the wickets, yet they did, and that happens most of the time in India. But what we must not forget is how Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shani started.
True, true.
Those 2 wickets in the first spell itself, inside 3 overs, in fact,
Hmm.
I mean, as
that
I
set
said,
the tone.
Australia. Yeah, and as I said, Australia could have made the best use of the pitch, but they didn't. They only managed 177 on a very fresh wicket. And Indian team, who then sailed on Rohit Sharma's century. It was first as a captain in a test match, and now he becomes the only captain to score a century in all the three formats. Then it was followed by crucial contributions by the two Bapus, our own
Yeah,
Gujarati
yeah.
Jaddu and Akshar, uh, followed by a brief cameo by Shami. Yeah, as you said, Gomez, he managed 30 odd runs, and if he could score that good, I don't know how Australia could not manage that. A lead of 200 plus, and in the second innings, we were all expected that Aussies would show some resistance, folded out for a meager 91. All thanks to the man who is always right when the batters are left handed. I would say, right? I'm talking about R. Ashwin claiming 5 wickets of four who were left handed.
True.
That's inside 12 overs.
Yeah.
Another point I would like to make out, which already a lot of Australian experts as well as other cricket experts from around the world have made. And I completely agree with that Australia have made some silly selection mistakes also in their playing 11. I mean, dropping Travis Head. Just because he doesn't have a good record in India, then who has? David Warner doesn't have, and barring Smith, nobody has. There was no merit in dropping Travis Head, considering the form he has been over the last 2-3 years. He has been their best batsman in Test matches and has pulled them out of serious challenging situations. And you drop that fellow. And playing Matt Rancho on the basis of all the hype around him, and he having done reasonably okay in his last tour to India, but that time he opened the innings. He was playing out of his position in that context. So several selection mistakes also contributing to what happened with Australia, apart from the demons of the pitch, as they so called it. It's more it is more in the mind rather than on the pitch.
True. And if you look at that Australian batting lineup, or rather you look at ICC rankings for men's test, you see Labuschagne at the top, Smith at second, and then there's Head at number 4. When you have 3 quality batters in first top 10 ranking, naturally people would expect you to do better. But then also let's just give benefit of doubt to them, because this was just their first match on Indian soil after a long time. So probably I'll give benefit of doubt to this batting lineup and not just write them off straight away for rest of the series, because we know the class that they carry. David Warner just needs to fire in one innings and he can, turn the match around anytime. And Labuschagne and Steve Smith actually in first innings were looking ominous at one point. They had got their partnership going. It was all thanks to our Bapu that he picked them up before they could do real damage there. But yeah, I think it wasn't a very good performance by Australia, but I would still say there were few positives. Maybe Labuschagne playing his first match in India, he did perform better than rest of the batters. So maybe there's something there to look for Australia too.
Absolutely, Bhumit, I agree. Dropping Head in the first match was a brain-fed moment, what I would feel from Australia's selection point of view. Not only he was replaced by Matt Renshaw. I mean, come on. A left-hander replacing a left-hander, Head would have also brought in his off-spinning skills to the fore, but somehow they ignored that, and you can see the results, right? They only had a newcomer who could bowl better than Lyon, and Head would have been really handy in this conditions, and I do not see a reason why they would be dropping in the second match. They need him very, very badly in the team.
Right. So let's come to that point. That's an interesting point that you've made. Todd getting more wickets than Lyon. Is that because of their bowling style?
Probably, yes. I would say Lyon is no doubt a bit quicker in the air as compared to Todd Murphy. But somehow, Indian batters we have seen that they are uncomfortable against new spinners, I would say. And we have already, the history says that a new spinner against us or a new player against us has performed better as compared to the established ones. I would actually compare it with Shane Warne. Shane Warne hasn't been that successful in India or against India, I would say, as compared to how Stuart McGill performed, right? When you compare them. So this has happened. Jason Kreja, who played here, Nathan Horridge, who played here. I mean, all of them were comparatively pretty new as compared to the so-called established players, and somehow they managed better results against us. So, Bhavi?
Okafi. How can we forget Okafi in the?
Absolutely, yeah.
In the last series. And yes, I agree with you. I think if you look at the stats, probably India is a good country to debut against. lot of greats
Absolutely.
like Michael Clark. He scored a high century against India. So yeah, I think India is in. We being Atithi Devo Bhava, we love to give good starts to the youngsters, maybe. So it could be that, I don't know. But yeah, Todd Murphy was a bright spot, definitely. And yes, Labuschagne and Smith are going to hold the key for their batting in the rest of the series as well. Because yeah, Warner can turn it around, but it's been 9 test matches now for him in India. Ashwin has got his number. You can say confidently that Ashwin has got his number.
Yeah, in fact, both spinners. Even Jadeja has got him out quite a few
Yeah,
times.
yeah,
And they say that Warner is now a bunny of Ashwin.
Yeah.
Whenever
yeah.
Ashwin is starting to bowl, Warner is almost expecting to get out. So
Yeah.
let's see how it spans out in
So
Firozshah
all
Kotla.
credit to India. All credit to India for the first test.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we are looking forward for the next match.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we do that, let's talk about that Rohit
Yeah,
Sharma
sure.
scoring a century. Man, wow. Was that some inning of grit and determination? It wasn't like all out attack. He was very, very selective in his short plays that he was looking to hit. And then there was one moment which I think stood out for me in this test was when he was bounced. He once tried to hit the ball in the air. He just missed a fielder and it went for a six. But then next bouncer, he rolled his wrist, made sure the ball stayed on the ground. And he never does that. He's so confident with his hooks and pulls. He never does that. He never cared to do that. But he did that this time, and that just showed the mindset he had come in with. He wanted to play long. I think 120 was still the way he was playing. 120, though he scored a century, I think was a lower score than what he had in mind probably. But what an innings!
Yeah, definitely. I think
Absolutely.
it reminded us of his similar innings in similar conditions in Chennai
Yeah,
against England.
I remember his debut also. He had a test century, if at all I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Right? Was it against Bangladesh? Sorry, it was against West Indies, right?
Yep.
And he played down the order in the middle order and scored a century. But yeah, we all know that he has not got the consideration, the regards that he should as a test batsman. But boy, we could see that he is making all for what he has lost in the past years that he should have done it. He's already making up for it, I would say.
It's just probably because of the way he plays, maybe that lazy elegance. It makes people think that he takes it casually. But when it comes to his batting, he's damn serious about it, definitely. I mean,
yeah.
there's no two ways about it.
And with the number of shots he has in his array, not to play them is a bigger or rather more difficult thing to do. When you see a
Yep.
ball to
Yep.
hit, that's a natural instinct. You just go for it. But he
Absolutely.
was so committed and he was so controlled in that innings. And I think even spinners, he was using his feet more often than not. He was just blocking them to reach to the
Yep.
pitch of the ball rather than going full flurry over the head. So
And just like Siraj and Shami, the way they set the tone in the first spell, Rohit did the same in batting,
true.
taking off Cummins in his first spell. I think he was run a ball 40 when he started.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just set the tone, sent the message to the opposition that we are here to kill.
True.
And that
absolutely.
from a captain.
He actually started off well in his normal fashion that he does, and later he slowed down. But then he was respecting the conditions, he was respecting the bowlers, and ensured that not only did he cross a big century, at the same time, India got a reasonable lead, and you can see that not only did Rohit Sharma played that innings, but it was coupled with Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar's knock, we could manage a lead of 200, which proved to be quite handy. And you could see the result. India won by an innings.
So quick take on another opener that played in first test and will probably play in second also. KL Rahul, what's up with him? He looked absolutely clueless in the middle. The shot, or the ball on which he got out, the shot he played, I don't know what to make of it.
We very much wish that Rohit's form gets rubbed on his shoulder as well. And if at all, looking at the situation at the moment, time is running out for him. That's what everybody, the fans, feel that it's high time he scores, raises his bat, and comes back to his original form. And let's hope that Firozshah Kotla becomes a lucky venue for him, and he scores some runs over here.
Well, if I were to quote Harsha Bhogle, he famously said that there are players who averages in this mid-30s. They are the most frustrating ones because they are doing just enough to stay in the team, but not enough to make the team win. Rahul is, unfortunately, with all the talents he has, without any doubts, and it's just in that zone, probably low on confidence or whatever. And you never know. He'll probably score 100 in this match. But as Bhumit said last time, it's been far too less frequent. It's the gaps between the two knocks have been far longish.
And with the likes of Gill and Sarfaraz and everyone knocking the door down, I think it's time for Rahul to get going now.
Yep.
So another thing that we had called out, another thing that we had called out in our first preview of first test, we were hoping Kuldeep Yadav will play and not Akshar, and I'm so happy we were proved so wrong. Of course, what we were saying was from bowling perspective, Akshar didn't do much. He wasn't among the wickets. Kuldeep might have been, but then we didn't really miss him in bowling. But the crucial knock or runs he scored coming down lower in the order, I think that turned a match for us in a way. And
absolutely,
what's your take on that?
Bhumit, I would say from Australians' point of view, if at all you go past Jadeja, you manage to go past him, you have Ashwin to tackle.
Yeah.
And if at all you go past him, you have Akshar to tackle. It can be with the ball or it can be with the bat. And you can see he didn't get much opportunity in the first match, especially in the second innings. But then he made it up with his batting, ensured that India scored mighty 400, and he was the second highest scorer in the match after Rohit Sharma. So it speaks volumes of how deep Indian team bats with Akshar batting at 9. And also, we all know had he taken 2 or 3 more wickets, he would have been the quickest to take 50 wickets after his debut. But it couldn't happen. Let's hope that he shows his magic with the ball in Firozshah Kotla.
And I was checking the ICC rankings for all-rounders. Well, guess what? We didn't realize, or at least I didn't realize, but Akshar Patel has sneaked in at number 7.
Yep.
And all this while we thought he wasn't batting well in test. But guess what? He's number 7 all-rounder in test right now. And the top 2, of course, it's Jadeja and Ashwin. They've been there for a while. But wow, that was a revelation, Akshar Patel's batting. And it's so good to see someone with more or less same class and attitude of Jadeja getting ready while Jadeja is still playing.
And does any team in the world today has 3 all-rounders in their team?
In fact, I didn't want to bring this topic on the table, but the Australian all-rounders that are in the list are Mitchell Starc and Pat Cummins, who by no stretch of imagination I consider them as all-rounders. They are proper bowlers for me. But that's what Australia has, and that's where I think Cameron Green should play a very crucial role for them.
Provided he's fit.
Yeah, if he's fit.
Yeah.
So all right.
So
yeah, Bhavik, carry on.
Yeah. No, carry on. So I was saying, can we move now to the...
Yes. Before we move, I just have one last point. I saw I didn't want to bring this up because the conditions were pretty different for both the matches. But England versus New Zealand, England played an amazing knock in 2.5 or what sessions, and they scored 325. They were extra aggressive there. Is that the way forward for Australia here, or should they be playing a more conservative, a more defensive form of cricket like what we did in first test?
I guess they'll have to change their mindset completely. They'll have to be positive and they'll not have to think about how the pitch will behave. Rather, trust their instinct, trust their technique, and play as they have been playing in Australia. I know the pitches are absolutely completely different from what they are being offered in their home ground, but see, the confidence will only come when they change their attitude, and that's when they'll be able to succeed. But looking at what has happened in the first match, it basically sets the tempo for rest of the series, I would say. It's difficult to see this change in attitude, change in technique overnight. Let's see how they fare in the rest of the series.
Well, when you say Bhumit, I would say that England has adopted this that baseball approach to Test match cricket, which is making it more fascinating, to be honest. I'm sorry. And while they have done it with a change in personnel at coach and captain, it has just changed the attitude of the whole team. But will Australia be able to do it? Yes, I am sure they will come back strongly, and they will have to be positive in their mindsets. Being aggressive is a different aspect, but they will certainly have to be positive if they are looking to make any contest out of the series.
All right, that's our thoughts. But everyone listening to our YouTube video or podcast, do let us know in comments if you think Australia should go the England way or the India way. All right, so moving on to the next part of this video, that is the match that starts today at Delhi. And before we start discussing, a big congratulations, a big shout out to Cheteshwar Pujara, who will be playing his 100th test today. And wow, 100 test matches, that's a big achievement in itself. Forget the form, whether you are in form, whether you are out of form, scoring, not scoring runs, but to play 100 matches for India, what an achievement. Not many people get to do that.
Absolutely, Bhumit. You do not get to play your 100 tests every day, right? And I would say not more than 13 players who have represented India have gone past this magic figure of 100. And to continue playing test matches, red ball cricket, and making that your best game, I would say Pujara has done enough to ensure that, after Rahul Dravid, you could see that we had a big gap, a big void that was created as to who would take that number 3 position in Indian batting lineup. And Cheteshwar Pujara has done enough, and his record speaks for itself. I mean, let's be frank. You do not play 100 test matches, right? With an ordinary performance.
True.
Absolutely. And Pujara is like is that diminishing species of creature in test matches. He's a rare commodity. He's once in a generation cricketer. I mean, in today's age, where everyone is after finding ways of playing franchise cricket and all sorts of things, He's probably the only guy who's only doing one thing, playing red ball cricket and playing in his own method. And I was just reading a feed on Cricket Info a day before that Pujara's contribution is far beyond his runs. And in the same, it's a very statistical this thing by Cricket Info, and uh, the contribution of partnership runs with Pujara's presence is 32%.
Wow.
In his career, and that's only fifth in the entire cricketing history. So that is significant, right? I mean, so what he is doing is not only scoring runs, but by staying at the crease, he's letting the others like Rishabh Pant lately. I think he and Pant has had some significant partnerships for India in last few series. So yes, his contribution is immense. And for all the criticism of his style of play and his methods, I think all of those critics also would, I'm sure, agree with us that he is a stalwart in Indian cricket for sure.
True. All right. So, wicket, the ever interesting topic when we play in India. What do you make out of this Kotla pitch from all the interviews or articles that you might have read?
Well, Kotla, as we all know, historically, it actually is there in the record books. I would say Anil Kumble, who destroyed Pakistani batters, taking 10 wickets, and that was the game where India trounced Pakistan on the Kotla wicket. Also, the other matches that I remember is I would say spinners have done pretty well, and it's a challenging wicket for all the visiting teams, I would say. So I don't see much changing unless Aussies change their mindset, their attitude, and come out positive.
Yeah, Australia have played here twice. In fact, the first inaugural Border Gavasker Trophy Test match was played on this ground, where our fellow Barodian Nayan Mongia scored a magnificent 152.
Oh, wow.
And I think Anil Kumble took some 9 wickets in that match.
In fact, even Nathan Lyon has picked 9 wickets the last time we played around.
Yeah.
I believe. Some
Yeah.
happy memories for him.
That was 2012-13.
Yeah.
In fact, only 2 Australians are still part of the squad. Smith and Lyon. These are the only 2. It was it had late Philip Hughes in that team also.
Oh.
In 12-13, yeah. And Watson was the captain.
And if I remember, when you mentioned Nayan Mongia scoring 150, that was the first match of the Border Gavasker Trophy when it started, right? The only match of the series, a century from Nayan Mongia, and we came victorious.
So I think India were only waiting for Border Gavasker Trophy to start. Before that, we pretty much had a horrendous run against Australia. But the time we named the cup, we started winning everything.
In fact, we can also. So now talking about this match, do you see any changes possibly in the squad of either team?
Well, yeah, I reckon Head should get a chance ahead of Renshaw. He'll also, be able to turn his arm around. But with that, I guess Green should step in for Hanscom. Though Hanscom didn't play that bad. I mean, in first inning he did score 30 odd runs. Second he was found wanting, but everyone was from their lineup. So, but what Green would do is he would probably provide an all-rounder option, a pacer, and then Boland. I don't know. He bowled really well. But then with Mitchell Stark being fit, do you still play Boland or do you get Stark in? Because what Stark does is left arm. He'll also also create rough outside the off stump for Nathan Lyon to work on. So it's this, like we talk about batting partnership. It's this kind of a bowling partnership that Australia has been very successful with Nathan Lyon and Stark. So I reckon Stark might get a game ahead of Boland. So these are the three changes that I see happening from Australia's point of view. India, I think, will
I
pretty
reckon it
much
would be,
should go with the same 11 unless Shreyas is fit. Then he steps in for Sky. But otherwise, I don't see any change for India.
yeah, that's what Rahul Dravid has confirmed lately, that if at all Shreyas Iyer is match fit, he'll straight away walk in. So all the chances that he'll replace Surya Kumar. But yeah, with Australia, I would say when they include Mitchell Stark, they again only have the option of having two spinners. Uh, I would say, uh, if at all Green is playing, uh, let there be two pace bowlers, with Green being the second one. I would say instead of Stark, they should go with the left arm spinner Matthew Kunman, whom they have flew in overnight. That would be really handy for them. And of course, Travis Head would be replacing uh, Matt Renshaw. So probably four spinners bowling in tandem would make life difficult for Indian batters.
But
Uh,
then you reckon Ashton Agar still doesn't get a game, even though he's been traveling with the squad from the beginning?
I don't see he getting a game over here. Cause see, the four batters, top order batters are. I know Warner is not in the greatest of his forms, but Warner would play. Second would be Usman Khwaja, Labuschagne, and Smith. So that leaves only two batting positions open. Now with Green coming in, that would be fifth would be sealed. Seventh, Kerry, the keeper stays. So sixth has to be Travis Head, right? And with four bowlers, you cannot drop Murphy, who has done exceptionally well. Lyon doesn't get dropped. So Cummins, who's the captain, you're left with just one position open. So it has to be taken up by either Mitchell Stark, Koeman. I don't see Ashton Agar making.
Hmm.
I would like
Bhavik
to
bhai,
throw another.
yeah, final closing comments from your side. We are running out of time, but yeah, I'd like to have
Yeah,
your comments
so
and then we'll close in.
yeah, quickly, we'll also, for the viewers, we can show them the previous matches at Kotla. So this is the first Border Gavasker Trophy. We could pull out some stats, and this is the first Border Gavasker Test at then Firoz Shah Kotla. Now it's Arun Jaitley Stadium from 2017, and it was Nayan Mongia, as I said, who scored a good century, and then Anil Kumble took 9 wickets. And when we played here, Australia in 2012-13, we have that also. Just a second. Yeah, there you go. And it was Ashwin Jadeja there too. And Australia will be partly happy if they look at the stats that Ashwin average is 34 in Kotla, and while Jadeja, which could be frightening for them, average is 16.
Wow. So, but looking at the two
Bhavik,
scorecards, it looks like batting fourth gets easier on Kotla. I don't know, it gets slower maybe and easy to tackle the.
yeah, Kotla has been a slow turner as compared to the other pitches. But as we are talking, um, I could see that Matthew Kunman has been given his baggy green.
Oh, wow.
So, um, he is making a debut over here.
Congratulations, young fellow.
Yes, absolutely. Look forward to how Indian batters tackle this left-arm spinner.
So will
As
be
you-
interesting to see who is he replacing.
Absolutely, yeah. We are not sure who is he replacing, but he is making his debut for sure. And as Todd Murphy in his debut made life difficult for Indian batters, let's hope Matthew Kunman doesn't do that. From Indians' point of view, I would say that.
Yeah. And any chance Australia playing three spinners, but that I think has been put to rest because now this I am not able to pronounce his name, sorry, but he has been given a green. So I don't think Australia will be playing three seamers in any case.
Three seamers was totally out of question. I mean, in India, you do not play three seamers unless you get a green wicket. I mean, Dharamshala was the option where they could have done that, but now even Dharamshala getting ruled out and the match moving to Indore, they won't be able to play three seamers. Neither would we, because the pitches do not support that, at least at the fag end of the season now, right? So yeah, Kunman making a debut. Probably they'll be going with three spinners, is what I assume. We are not sure of the teams as yet, but that would be only be revealed after the toss.
All right, that's it from our side for this episode. Thanks a lot, Bhavik and Sanket, for joining us, and we'll soon meet for another episode. But till then, have a good day, enjoy the second test, and see you guys soon. Bye.
And please subscribe and give us your comments. Give us your comments on in the feedback.
Yes, also let us know who do you think will win this test. That would be
India,
an
of
interesting
course.
one to have. India, yeah. Even I think so. But
Obviously.
let's see. I hope there'll be draws. I really want to see one good, hard test match drawing at the end of day 5. I've seen many 3 days, but yep. So that's it from our side. I guess we'll meet you guys soon with another episode. But till then, have a good day and enjoy.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.